Welcome to American History Notes, where I discuss things I've learned from American history, um, things that I hope you'll be interested in. Might hear a name or something you've heard before, want to study it further, and don't expect you to agree with my conclusions, but I do expect you to be interested in American history. So let's begin. We're still in arts and literature, music, entertainment. Um, During World War II, radio commentator Edward R. Murrow became famous, whose war reports begin with, "This is London." Walt Disney releases Pinocchio and Fantasia. John Ford releases his film of the great version of The Grapes of Wrath, starring Henry Fonda. And Alfred Hitchcock releases Rebecca in 1940. By 1940, 30 million homes have radio. Orson Welles makes his film debut with what many consider to be the greatest American film, Citizen Kane, a thinly disguised attack on newspaper mogul William Randolph Hearst. Photographer Ansel Adams publishes Moonrise, Hernandez, New Mexico in 1941. Actors Hume Cronin and Jessica Tandy marry in 1942 and will perform in many notable plays and films throughout their long life together. Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman will be released in 1942, and it will compete with Citizen Kane in the minds of many over the years as the best Hollywood film of all time. This is the year that Disney releases Bambi, 1942. And that year, in the movie Holiday Inn, Bing Crosby sings Irving Berlin's White Christmas, which becomes the best-selling Christmas single record of all time. In the next year, Rodgers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma debuts with choreography of Agnes DeMille, with songs and dances being used to advance the story. In 1949, their South Pacific debuts. 1944 will give us Vincente Minnelli's Meet Me in St. Louis. Minnelli is one of actress Judy Garland's husbands and the father of famous singer, actor, dancer Liza Minnelli. Playwright Tennessee Williams has his first commercially successful play, The Glass Menagerie, premiere in 1945. A Streetcar Named Desire will be produced in 1947. Notable films of that year include Alfred Hitchcock's Spellbound and Billy Wilder's story about a drunk, The Lost Weekend. By this year, 5,000 U.S. homes have television sets. In 1948, it will be 1 million. And by 1968, Americans will own 78 million TV sets. In 1948, The Toast of the Town, better known as The Ed Sullivan Show, will debut on TV and run until 1971, showcasing such celebrities as Elvis Presley and the Beatles. In 1949, director and acting teacher Lee Strasberg becomes the artistic director of the Actors Studio in New York City and will eventually coach such acting, quote, greats as Marlon Brando, James Dean, Montgomery Clift, Geraldine Page, Shelley Winters, Dustin Hoffman, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Ellen Burstyn. In that year, playwright Arthur Miller debuts his Death of a Salesman, dealing with the futility of capitalism. That's my opinion from having read it over and over in school. Directed by Elia Kazan. His equally important play attacking the Puritans of the Salem witch trial, and by association, all Christians, The Crucible, will premiere in 1953. We're going to talk about a little bit about off-Broadway and some other movie and TV greats. Then we'll get into literature, and from there, from literature, then we'll go to music and dance. And we do have a lot of things, art to discuss, architecture, and then we'll be done with this special topics on this series, and then we'll move on to other special topics that might be more interesting, even more controversial. But I think these are things that we do need to know about in American history, and I hope you'll study them or look them up. Thank you very much.